Welcome back, General Martin.
Thank you very much, Council.
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
me back.
You would notice that the setting has changed a bit, somewhat. So maybe you would need to move this side of to this side of the table so that you can have a better view of the screen.
Yeah.
Before we resume, let me remind you that you are still under oath.
Thank you.
And that lying to the Commission is an offense. And that if a person lies to the Commission, if a person is not truthful to the Commission, the person shall not be entitled to amnesty.
Correct.
Amnesty will only be given to those who are truthful
exactly.
and remorseful.
Absolutely
correct. Before the break, we were dealing with a few issues. There were a few issues of disagreement. One is the weapons or the instruments that were used to torture your victims, or to beat your victims as you defined it, as you called it. And
you can call it torture.
No, I know what to call it. Okay. I call it torture. You tell us what you want to call it. What do you call it? Tell us what you are doing in the interrogation.
Yeah, but I beating them. Yeah.
So, but you don't call it torture?
Torture. By beating them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Call it whatever. But for our purposes, we will call it torture. You would call it whatever you want.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So the other issue we would discuss is the instruments. First, the use of hammer, the use of electrocution equipment. The other issue is the groups that were involved and the leadership of the groups. You understand?
Yes.
Because you have indicated that the first day it was one group, and thereafter there were 3 different groups. We think that that is not the case. We also want to know what happened to Sadibu and your involvement in that.
Yeah, Sadibu was beaten.
In your presence?
Yes, in my presence, of course.
Under your leadership?
Yes.
So you accept that?
I accept, of course.
All right, then yeah. That issue is out.
Yes, I accept.
But before we leave the issue of Sadibu,
yes,
you know that Sadibu died few months after.
Yeah, 6 months
his
after.
Torture.
Yes, 6 months after.
6 months after.
Yeah.
And it is alleged that Sadibu suffered significantly from his torture, and that is what led to his death.
By a medical report also?
No, not by a medical report. By people who were present there with him and knowing what have happened to him.
I don't think so. Only that 2 occasions? No, I don't think so.
Are you afraid to be associated with the death of Sadibu?
I'm not afraid. If it happens with the torture, I accept. Council, of course.
Okay, I put it to you that there are some witnesses out there who say that Sadibu died as a result of the torture.
Yeah,
what do you say to that?
That's what they are saying. That's what those people are saying.
But what are you saying?
Yeah. On my side, I don't believe it's the torture that killed Sadibu. On the 2 occasions? No.
We would come to the number of times he was tortured.
Okay.
So on the first issue of the instruments of torture, do you still deny that a hammer and electrocution machines were used on these people?
Yeah, only the bag. Apart from the bag, no electrical or hammer was used.
Okay. With the issue of the bag, let's clarify that finally. Was it used on Sana Sabali or not? The plastic bag.
Bags. Yeah.
Was it placed over Sana Sabali's head as he was beaten and being asked questions?
I could recall. My memory served me well. It was. If my memory could serve me well. But it's a long time. I could not. But if my memory served me well, it was.
So you now saying that they placed the plastic bag over Sabali's head as he was beaten and asked questions?
Beaten, correct.
Now you confirm that?
Correct.
Okay, how do you describe that? Do you describe that as beating or you describe that as torture?
Torture.
So now you accept
Yes.
that Sabali was not only beaten, as you defined it, he was also tortured by use of the plastic bag.
Plastic bag, exactly.
And this was done under your supervision?
Exactly.
Good. So that is now out of the way?
Exactly.
Yes. So you now accept torturing Sana Sabali, not only beating Sana Sabali, but also torturing him?
Yes.
Good. So we now leave that. The other issue is whether you used a hammer on him.
No.
Or not.
No, never.
Let's hear what Sana Sabali have to say about this.
No, a lot of things have been said by Sana. A lot of things have been said by Sana.
But
it's not.
Do you think?
True.
Do you think that Sana Sabali will forget whether a hammer was used on him or not?
Yeah. That is his own version, but I am just telling you.
Did you
what
hear?
My team did, the team of investigators that I led.
The team of torturers you led?
Yes.
Good. So it's just a question of the degree of seriousness of the torture or the degree of cruelty in the torture. Did you hear Sana Sabali's testimony?
I heard it, of course.
Did you hear him say that Manlafikor wielded a hammer?
Sana said a lot of more than that even.
Yes.
More than that.
But just listen and you answer the question.
Yes.
I'm not asking you about everything he said.
Yes.
I'm asking you about a discrete
Yes,
issue.
he said that.
He said Manlafikor wielded a hammer and that hammer was being used to hit him all over his body.
No.
Do you deny that?
No, I didn't. It's not true.
It is not
It's not true.
Okay, may I ask that we play the video of Sana Sabali? Please. And take it to timestamp. The video is not ready yet. We need 2 minutes. Okay, indicate to me when the video is ready. And it's ready now. Could you play the video? 2 minutes. All right. 2 minutes is a long time to wait. It is sufficient that you have heard the allegation.
Exactly.
And you deny the use of hammer on Sana Sabali.
Exactly.
You see, the difficulty we have is that we have 5 witnesses or 6 witnesses who have said exactly the same thing on this point.
Counsel, I'm just giving you.
Why don't you hear the question first?
Yeah.
Before you start answering.
No, you already said the question.
No, I haven't said the question.
Yeah.
I am just setting the pace to get to the question. We have 5 or 6 witnesses, all of whom say that a hammer was taken into the interrogation room by Manlafikor. And the person who was inside the room, that was Sana, also said that the hammer was used on him. But you are the person who has an interest in denying the use of the hammer on Sana. What do you say?
Yeah.
Who is to believe?
Yeah. It's not true. With a hammer, we were there with our weapons, not hammer, Council. We carried our weapons, our AK-47s.
And those were used on...
Yes, that's what we were using.
Okay. So you didn't use a hammer?
No,
we
used the weapon.
AK-47?
Exactly.
So, all right.
Yes.
We leave it at that. It suffices that you have accepted that torture.
Indeed.
Okay, now let's move on to Sadibu. Let's move on to Sadibu. You have accepted Sadibu was beaten in your presence. Yes. How about the plastic bag?
No.
Was it used on Sadibu?
No, no.
So they used the plastic bag for Sana, correct?
Yes.
Why? Because he did not answer questions.
Yes.
You used it on Sanyang.
Yes.
Why? Because he did not answer questions.
Yes.
And you used it on Sadibu.
Yes.
Because he didn't answer questions.
Yes.
Thank you very much for accepting that you used it on Sadibu.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So that's been sorted.
Yes. Thank you.
And that is for day one for Sana. Now let's talk about the issue of the various groups. The second day, tell us the group you went with.
I already said it. That was Senghor, Dur was there, Senghor was there, Dur was there, Malafikor was there. And is it Fal?
No, I wasn't.
Fal. No, not you. The other,
you said SAR.
SAR, exactly.
That was your team?
Yes.
Even
others were there, but I could not, because they are from the army. I could not.
How about Almamo?
No, the second time, no, Almamo was not there.
How about Musa Ajame?
Musa Ajame was not there.
So the second time, it was just you and your team?
Yes.
And this time around, the same process was done with Sana, correct?
Yes.
He was beaten.
He was beaten.
Plastic bag was used on him.
Yes.
He was butt struck.
Yes.
He was asked questions.
Exactly.
And Sadibu?
Sadibu was Jame's team.
We're talking about second day.
The second day, it was
your team.
Yes.
The second day, how many teams went to Mile 2?
Mile 2. It was like 3 teams. As I said, Almamo's team was there, Musa Jame's team was there, and the team that I led to was there.
Tell us how your work was divided.
Yeah. I was directly in charge of Sana. Musa Jame and Almamo's team were with Sadibu.
And how about Sanyang?
So, no, Sanyang, it was only my team who went for him. That was the second day.
We are talking about the second day.
Yes.
Tell us the responsibilities of your team the second day.
Yes, we deal with Sana and Sanyang.
But you went with 3 teams.
Yes. The other team went for, Haidara. Exactly.
Look at the logic. You went with 3 teams. That's what you said.
Yes.
That's your testimony.
Yes.
One team went with Haidara.
No, they didn't. They went to deal with Haidara, of course.
One team?
Yes. They were in their cells.
Yes. One team went to deal with Haidara.
Yes.
Okay. So you have 2 teams waiting.
Yes.
And your team went for Sabali.
Sabali and Sanyang.
And the other team was there just idle.
Yes. And then Sanyang, we went for Sanyang.
That is illogical.
No, they were there. They were there. We were always going together.
So then it was one team and not 3 teams.
I say one team with three groups.
Okay.
Yes.
That one team with 3 groups was led by yourself.
Yes, with Musa Jame too led the team, but I led it.
You were the head of
Yes.
the entire group.
Yes.
So what each group would do to a detainee was the responsibility of the head of the team.
Absolutely. Because
So you are therefore responsible for what happened to Sadibu, you were responsible for what happened to Sana, and you were responsible for what happened to Sanyang.
Accept.
You went there on a torture mission, correct?
On a fact-finding mission, on a questioning.
And in the process, you tortured all these 3 people.
Yes, that was how the situation was. I was given orders to go and question.
We have received evidence from Sana that these were not the only occasions he was tortured by you. He indicated that he was taken across from Mile 2 to the beach, where he was waterboarded.
Yes.
Do you agree to that?
It's a lie. I don't agree.
Sana alleges that he was also taken to the NIA premises where you hung him on the ceiling or from the ceiling, and you put a metal piece in his anus. Do you deny that?
Yeah, I deny it. 100%. 100%.
What happened?
Yes. It's not true. It's a lie.
What?
It was only the 2 occasions I went to Mile 2 prison. Find out, and then you check. Let the investigators go and find out in the logbook whether I was locked. And again, let them find out from the prison officers whether that happened. Let them find out from the prison officers, because you go to Mile 2 prison, the prison officers will open the cells, lock the cells, take you out, bring you in. Let them go and then find out whether it happened.
Do you know whether Sana was taken to the NIA premises at any point in time?
No.
Do you know whether Sana has been to the NIA?
No.
You don't know?
No.
So you never participated?
Never. After the 2 occasions?
Yes.
Never, ever.
How about Sadibu?
Never, ever. That was the only 2 occasions I was at Mile 2 prison. So, and because of the 11 November, Sana's arrest, I stepped in Mile 2 prison. Let them find out. The prison officers are here. Let them come and testify.
No, we are not talking about Mile 2 now.
Yeah.
We are talking about NIA.
Yeah, NIA too. That's what I'm saying. Let them find out. Let them call the DG and find out. NIA is an agency that has a lot of people, especially at that time. Hundreds of people are there. Let them come and testify whether it happens.
Well, Sana has testified.
Yes, that is his testimony. But I am telling you, my own, that it never happened. It's a big lie. 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
We would find out.
Correct.
We would get more information on this. Correct. But just as I have said, if you lie, it's an offense.
Yeah.
If you lie, you cannot be entitled to amnesty if you apply for it.
You told me I have everything.
Yes, I wouldn't be tired reminding you, because these are important decisions to make as we proceed.
Absolutely.
All right. So you have denied all subsequent torture of Sana Sabally?
Never, 100%.
Okay. But you have also admitted having tortured him on 3 separate occasions?
Yeah, on two occasions.
3 separate occasions?
Yes.
The first is the day he was arrested.
Okay, yeah, yes.
You guys beat him
exactly.
and took him to Mile 2.
Quite correct.
All right. And you know Sana was prosecuted and convicted.
Exactly.
But you also know that he was prosecuted on a false premises, on false allegations.
No, he was with the investigators who were handling his case. That is the NSS then.
Martin,
Where
you knew, as at the time of his arrest,
yes,
that he was not doing anything at that time.
who was not doing anything?
Sana.
Come again.
He was merely stepping out of his office. He wasn't doing anything.
No. But we were given instructions to arrest. That was all.
I understand.
Yes, that was the situation. We are giving orders to arrest Sana.
You were giving orders to arrest Sana on an allegation that was patently false.
Yeah.
True
At
or
that
false?
time, we don't know that it was false.
But you subsequently knew that it was false.
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
Yes.
So, and therefore, you also know that his incarceration was also on a false premise. It was based on a lie.
With your question, what do you mean?
That his conviction and sentence to 9 years in prison was based on a lie.
I wouldn't know that. Maybe the judge will be able to say that.
But you know that the allegations against him were false.
No. Maybe the judge can say that because they were with Sana counsel. My only investigation was on 2 occasions, and I went and then give a feedback, and that was all. Later, he was being dealt with by the NSS then, up to the level of taking him to court.
And where were they dealing with him?
At the NIA, they built up a case file on him.
So they took him to the NIA?
Yes.
And they interrogated
the NIA,
him at
it's
the
not
NIA?
that, only 2 occasions I was ready with Sana. Then NIA took it upon themselves with Sadibu to try to prosecute them, to build a case file on them. Exactly, exactly.
And you know that for a fact?
Yes, they were taken to the NIA.
But I have asked you that question. I have asked you that question, and you denied it.
Which one?
That they took him to the NIA.
Who?
Sana.
No, you said Sana was taken to the NIA on my torture. That's what you said.
No, I did not.
Yes.
The question I asked you was, do you know for a fact whether Sana was taken to the NIA? You said no.
No.
Okay,
then I didn't hear your question very well then.
Okay, that's why I say listen to the questions.
Yes.
So you now accept that Sana was taken to the NIA?
Yes, for questioning.
For questioning.
Yes.
And during that process, you said the modus operandi in Gambia at the time was you would be beaten if you do not answer.
Oh, yes.
And that was also the culture at the NIA. They beat you if you don't answer.
If you answer. Yes. He was all the time with the NIA till he was convicted.
So he was, you would expect that he was also beaten at the NIA.
He said that he was beaten at the NIA?
The question is, you have said the NIA, their way of doing things at the time was one would be beaten if one did not answer correctly.
No, that was not the NIA per se. I was saying we did it. We were beating people if you refused to give us answers.
How about the NIA? Were they beating people?
The NIA?
Yes. Just tell the truth.
Yes. They beat people.
Okay. So when you know that Sana was taken there on several occasions?
Yeah, he was going there. That I know because I was at the State House. But I do know that he was going to the, NIA, of course.
And would you expect that he was also beaten at the NIA?
No, well, I wouldn't know because I was not there. So
that's why I said, would you expect? Yeah. I didn't say whether you know.
Yes.
You would expect that he would be beaten?
If he refused to comply with them.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But according to Sana, he was taken to the NIA, but was not only beaten by the NIA officers, but by you.
A big lie, 100% lie.
Let's look at the way the NIA used to work. On this type of allegations, they would normally work with soldiers from state guards. True or false?
Yes, true. Sometimes.
Almost always.
Sometimes they do it on their own. Sometimes they do
On
it
allegations of attempts on the life of the president,
yes.
the NIA would do it alone. That's what you say?
Yes, they will do it alone. After they do it alone, we are dealing with Sana and Sadibu all the way.
With your involvement?
On 2 occasions. Yes.
Even on the first occasion, you went there. The NIA was there as well.
Which first occasion?
The first occasion you went to Mile 2.
Yes.
The NIA personnel were also
there. They were all
there.
there. Because Sana's arrest, everybody was there. And NIA, the army, everybody was there. Up to the time he was, being sent to Mile 2.
You are answering your own question.
Yes.
A question that is different from the one I posed. Listen to my question.
No, I'm listening and I'm responding, Counsel.
Yes, you are responding.
Yes.
But you are responding to something different from what I have asked. So it's only if you listen carefully would you...
I'm definitely listening to you.
Listen more carefully.
Okay.
Right? I am talking about not the time of his arrest, but the time that he was in Mile 2. The first day you went there to torture them.
Yes.
You went also with NIA officers.
The first day? No.
There were no NIA officers?
No.
How about the second day?
The second day, no.
Yeah. The allegation is that there were also NIA officers.
Yes, they do go there.
So you deny going together with NIA officers?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think it is sufficient for our purposes that you have accepted the torture of Sana Sabali, the torture of Sadibu Haidara, and the torture of RSM Sanyang.
Yes.
What do you say to Sana Sabali, RSM Sanyang, and to the family of Sadibu Haidara?
I regret all what has happened. It was an unfortunate situation at the time. We are getting orders and we have to go and do it, otherwise you yourself will go. That was how the situation was. My apology to all the families of Sanyang, Haidara, and Sana. We made mistakes, Counsel. We were very young officers at the time. Where when orders are given, you have to go and then execute the orders. Or else you will go. That's how the status quo was.
So you would rather...
The status quo was so tense that definitely we did a lot of mistakes, Counsel. That's what I can tell.
Terrible things.
Yes, it happens. And all it happens in 11 November 1994. That's how we started seeing deaths into the armed forces. We've never seen deaths. In the Zanal Mori, we've never experienced death. In Yundum, likewise. But in 11 November, that's where we start seeing death. And then coups and counter-coups was the order of the day. No.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
You said you had to do this or you can go. So you preferred to remain as part of the status quo by sacrificing other people.
No. Not that. I'm just telling you that they will give you orders for you to go and then...
And you prefer carrying out those illegal orders?
No. You just, as I said, my apology to all the family members.
Yes, we understand you have apologized.
I regretted whatever has happened. It happens. It was not our will. It was not what we want, to see people dying, people being executed, tortures happen. It happens. No one can deny that. But within 94, it was a military regime at the time. Everybody was putting on uniform. We cannot stop anything. Mistrust.
You were happy to carry out those orders, weren't you?
Not happy at all. I am not happy. Where even somebody whom I be part of my family member, married to my family member. Lieutenant Jammeh was killed in, November 11, Buba. All those things happened. But you can't do anything at the time, Council. That was how the situation was.
What was your rank?
Yeah, I was a sergeant.
You told us your rank was sergeant as at the time of the coup.
Yeah.
And subsequently, after Sana Sabali incident, what was your rank?
No, I was then a sergeant in Sana Sabali by
that time. When were you promoted?
Yeah, I was promoted 95, 96, around 98.
95?
Yes.
95?
No, not 90. I've never been promoted in 95. That was around 97, 98.
So, and you were rewarded for your good service?
No, I was not rewarded. Yes.
The promotion is a reward, isn't it?
Yes. It's just about,
for your good
your hard work,
service.
Delegated to
your hard work.
Yes,
and your loyalty to the regime.
Well, you have to be loyal. At that time, everybody has to be loyal.
Just answer the question.
Yes.
You were promoted also because of your loyalty to the regime.
Of course. You have to be loyal, Council.
Okay. And all that included obeying the orders and the instructions you were given?
Absolutely. Correct.
Including the unlawful orders you were giving to torture other people?
Absolutely. That was
so
the situation.
You were rewarded for all that?
No, I was not rewarded for that.
Okay, you were promoted for all that?
Yes, it was just time for me to be promoted. Then I was promoted. Okay, not because of I did that and then I was promoted. No.
All right.
Yes.
The commission will draw its conclusion.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That was not the last time you carried out tortures for Yahya Jammeh, was it?
It was the last time.
No, it wasn't. Let's go to 2006.
Let's proceed.
Ndur Cham coup d'etat. You were part of a panel of investigators, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us how that was organized?
No, we were just asked to go and then supervise what was happening. It's not per se we are part of the panel. No.
I underline the words you use.
Yes.
You were sent to go and supervise.
Yes.
What was happening
there.
What do you understand supervise to mean?
Yeah, to be there to see what is happening, how the proceedings are unfolding.
And to give direction?
Yes, yes.
So by supervising, you are definitely in charge?
No, I was not in charge. The NIA was in charge.
But you were supervising?
We were from the State House, being there to be part of the panel.
To supervise?
Yes, to see what is going on.
To see or to supervise, or both?
No, both. To see, supervise,
and both, to supervise would mean you would exert some form of control or authority over what was going on?
No, you don't have that. It was the NSS then who has that control.
NIA?
Because their Director General has the control.
Yes.
Yes.
Of the actual operation?
Yes.
But the
as per what they want to know. Yes.
But the supervisory authority was given to you?
No, I never supervised. We just be there to listen.
These are your words.
Yes.
I did not.
To supervise, yes, to sit down, listen how the proceeding is going on, and the NIA were directly in charge of, that situation.
Okay, let's get it clear. And I try to establish the distribution of responsibility.
Exactly.
Okay. Who was to supervise the operations?
The Director General of the NIA.
Who was to carry out the execution, actual execution of the operation? That is, the doing of the operation.
The NIA. Is in their office.
So what was your responsibility?
My responsibility was for us to be there, to then be part of the panel, and then to know what was going on.
Were you to supervise or not to supervise?
No, not to supervise. Not to.
So when you said you were sent to supervise, you were mistaken?
Yes.
I give you that.
Yes.
You were mistaken. So be careful the words you use.
Yes.
All right. What instructions were you given? What did Jammeh say to you?
Yes. He said we go there and see what is happening there and then give him a feedback.
Hello? Could you say that again?
To know what was, how the proceeding is going, and then we feed him back.
And you are to be the eyes and the ears of Yaya Jammeh in what was happening.
With the Director General, of course. All of us who were there.
We are talking about you and not them.
Yes.
You and your group
Yes.
were to be the eyes and ears of Yaya Jammeh
Exactly.
in what was happening in the panel.
Exactly.
Okay. We want to know what was the exact purpose of the panel.
The purpose was for them to figure out the coup of Ndur Cham and those who were involved.
And how was that going to be done?
Yes, by investigating. They were on our investigations.
I'm listening.
Yes.
And how were they to investigate?
Yeah, the NIA was doing the investigations on them. The NIA were in charge of questioning the alleged coup plotters.
Was it an option that any result of the investigation was acceptable?
Well, I wouldn't know at the time, Council. I wouldn't know. I was just there to be there to see how the proceeding is unfolding and then just give him a feedback. It was the NIA who are in charge. They are the ones responsible.
Again, truthfulness. It's key here. I warn you to be absolutely truthful.
Of course. I'm giving you the truth.
The whole essence of this panel, we are to extract confessions from all those people who were brought before the panel.
Oh, I wouldn't know that. It was the NIA who are responsible, not me. We were just there to see what is happening. The NIA were doing their job, Council.
I accept.
Yes.
The NIA were doing their job.
Yes.
Okay. What I want you to tell us is, what was Yaya Jammeh expecting from this panel?
He expects the NIA to give him a strong feedback as per the allegations.
Martin, stop.
No, I'm telling you, he wanted them to give him a feedback as per those who are part of the coup.
He wanted to receive confessions.
Yes. He wants to know, Council.
Confession and wanting to know, and confession and feedback are completely different. My proposition to you is that Yaya Jammeh wanted to receive confessions from those who were implicated, no matter what.
Alleged, yes. Yes, that's true.
That is true.
Yes.
That is your testimony.
Yes, that's true. He wants to know because they are alleged.
Listen carefully. My proposition to you is that Yaya Jammeh wanted to receive confessions.
Yes, correct.
From all those who were implicated in this coup,
exactly.
No matter how those confessions were obtained.
Exactly.
And he sent you to be his eyes and his ears.
Oh, not me alone.
Yes. Okay, you and your group.
We are a team. Almamo was there. Musa Jammeh was.
That's right. Okay.
Even the IG was there. Yes.
We will come to that.
Okay.
We will come to that. So your team was sent to be the observers and the listeners for Yaya Jammeh.
Exactly.
To make sure that those confessions are obtained.
Yes. Correct.
And no matter how those confessions were obtained. That is your testimony.
Yes.
So now let's try to understand how those teams were organized. Can you tell us the various services that were represented in this panel and the division of responsibility?
I do know that the NIA are directly in charge. it's their wholly and solely responsibility to carry out the investigation. But along the line, you have the IG was there, and then you have other officers from police who were part of the team too. So, and then from on our side too.
Okay, all right. The police component that was there, what were they to do?
No, well, they were there as investigators. They investigate too.
And what were the tasks assigned to them?
Yes, for them to investigate.
But you've just told us that it was the sole responsibility of
but
the
the police
NIA.
too. The police too. Yeah, go ahead.
Hear the question.
Yes.
If we speak over each other, you won't understand the question, and we also pose a problem for the interpreters. Let's listen to one another, okay? So, I want us to understand. Look, you are helping the commission.
Exactly.
So we want you to explain to us what were the institutional arrangements at the time? Which institution was responsible for what? That is what we want to know.
Yes, at that time, you will just see all of them there and doing the same job. The police were there investigating, the NIA too, they were doing their job at the headquarters of the NIA.
What was the job of the NIA?
Yes, investigating.
And what was the job of the police?
Investigating.
And what was the job of your group?
Yes, for us to observe. And listen.
Okay.
Yes.
I put it to you that the job of the NIA was to pose the questions to those who were accused of planning to overthrow the government.
Exactly. That's what I said.
And the police were there to write the statements of these people.
Maybe that's that was their role.
All
they were there on
in fact, all the statements were written by the police.
I wouldn't know, because we will not know who gave statements. For us, we think
But you were there to observe for Yaya Jammeh.
Yes, we observe and then report back to him.
And you wouldn't know who wrote the statements.
Statements will always come from the NIA Council. Is at their headquarters. NIA headquarters, the Director General is there. He will write a report to the President.
We're not talking about reports. What? We're talking about the statements
that's what I'm saying.
Those who were interrogated.
Yes, they will interrogate and send a comprehensive report to the President about the statement.
Forget about report for the time being.
Okay.
Let's talk about the statement of a witness who appears before the panel.
Exactly.
Who takes the statements? Who writes down the statements?
The police were there, and then the NIA too were there.
Which unit, which outfit would write the statements?
Council, at that time, you will see everybody writing. The police were there taking note. NIA too were there taking note. That's how the panel was.
Do you understand what is statement taking?
Of course. You take statement of somebody who, yes.
And how does that process unfold? What happens in that process?
Yes, they question and then they write. They take statement of the individual.
And okay.
Yes, they will question and then they write statements.
Before the entire panel or separately in another room?
There, people will write statement there at the panel.
But the information we have is that witnesses would come before the panel, they would be asked questions, and when they are ready, the person would be sent to a separate room, and the police would take a statement.
I would not. I can't recall that. I mean, I can.
So, okay, but you agree that the police were there?
No, they were there taking statements. The NIA too were there doing that.
And you have the panel members asking questions.
Exactly.
And you have your group
observing
what was happening. Is there any other group from State House participating in this process?
That was the arresting group, the escort group.
And apart from arresting and escorting, what were their responsibilities?
They always beat, torture.
So we want you to explain to the Commission and to the Gambian people how this system operated. You had various components of the state put together by Jammeh, and you said the objective was to extract confessions from these people. So can you explain how this mix worked to produce the confessions that Jammeh wanted?
No, the NIA were just investigating And then the jugglers were responsible of escorting and then beating if you refuse to talk. And that was their mode of operandi. Their modus operandi was beating if you refuse to talk.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. That is what we were looking for. But we want you to break it down to that primary 3 child who is sitting next to his mother watching television. That child wants to understand how the government was doing it. Break it down bit by bit. Explain the various parties, their roles and what they were doing to extract these confessions for Yahya Jammeh.
The junglers were the ones responsible of arresting at that time, especially Ndur Cham's era. Yes, they go for arrest. Anybody who is mentioned, who is part of it, they have to go and then arrest you.
Okay, so when they arrest, what would they do?
They arrest you, take you to mile 2 first.
And then?
And then take you back to the NIA for questioning.
And explain to us the setting.
Yes.
Of that questioning. How would it unfold?
No, it's the panel. That's the panel. That's what I'm saying.
So the panel would be sitting
like, yeah.
Just like the commissioners?
Yes, like the commissioners. No, it's just like a
U-shape?
Yeah.
Like a U-shape?
Yes, and then he will be sitting there, and then they will be questioning him.
Okay, and who would be seated around the table?
All the officers will be sitting. NIA officers, the police, and then they will bring in the guy who is accused.
Who would be bringing the guy accused?
Yeah, the junglers will bring.
The junglers will bring in the guy accused. So then the person would be asked questions?
Yes.
Okay, if the person does not answer...
Answering, then the junglers will take you out.
So the junglers would come back in?
Yeah, take you out.
And take the person out?
Yeah, out.
And then?
And then deal with you.
And what would that involve, that dealing with you?
Yes.
What would that involve, dealing with you?
Yes.
What would that
Torture.
involve?
Torture
so
people.
They'll torture the person?
Yes.
And while the panel members are there, they will be hearing the cries and the wailing of the person?
No, it will be far. You will not basically per se hear the cries, but they will beat you, and then if you are back, you will definitely know that you were beaten.
So the panel members are there knowing that this person is really being tortured at the moment?
Yes.
So they wait for the torture to continue? They wait for the torture to happen, and then the person would be brought back?
Yes, yes.
So, so when the person is brought back, the panel members know that the person has been tortured?
Yes, they will know that he has been well taken care of.
Well taken care of means well tortured?
Yes.
Mercilessly?
Yes.
Okay. And then the questioning would continue?
Yes.
Until they get what they want?
Exactly.
And which would be a confession?
Indeed.
And that confession is what they would present to Yahya Jammeh?
Yes.
And also the person would be paraded on national television?
Yes, at that time, yes.
And then a confession, they would stage the recitation of a confession?
Well, yes, that's what they will do.
And that is what you guys were doing?
We were not doing that.
Who was doing it?
Yes.
Who was doing it?
You mean no, I'm not saying the torture. The junglers, they torture.
No, what I am saying is that is what this group that Yahya Jammeh assembled, that is what you were doing.
You mean the panel?
Yes.
The panel?
Yes.
Yes.
The whole group?
Yeah.
All members?
Yes.
That's what they were doing?
Mm-hmm.
They were all put together with the objective of extracting a confession which they would put before Yahya Jammeh?
Yeah.
That is your testimony?
Yes.
So now let's look at the activities of this panel in 2006, the Ndur Cham panel.
That is the panel that you are talking about.
Yes, you participated in that panel, correct?
That panel, yes, I was there as observer, yes.
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 The representative of State House.
Yes.
And who was present? Who were the members of this panel?
Yeah. Either I was there.
What was his first name? Is it Muhammad?
I think it's Muhammad.
Momodu?
No.
Can you describe him?
Fair color.
Tall or short?
Yeah, with tall.
Of which institution?
NI.
So Haidara, tall, light-skinned Haidara from the NIA.
Yes.
He was there.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah. From the State House, I was there. Al-Mama.
What was Haidara's position?
Yeah, he was the director. He was a director.
Deputy Director General
yes,
or Director?
Either deputy or director. He was.
Okay. He was a very senior officer.
Senior officer, yeah.
Okay. And from the State House, who represented the State House?
I was there. Al-Mama was there. Musa Jame was there.
So,
I remember, yeah.
Tumbul Tamba?
Tumbul was with the Jongolers.
Was he there?
He was, but he was with the Jongolers.
Okay. Yes. All right.
He was the one doing the escort.
So the State House representatives were yourself. At this stage, what rank were you?
Second lieutenant.
Okay. And Musa Jame? What rank?
He was a captain. He was a lieutenant. He's senior.
And Alma Mane?
Was a lieutenant too.
So you have 3 lieutenants from State House representing Jame.
Yes.
All right. And then the other group from the Junglers.
Not per se representing Jame. We just be there as observers.
Observing for who?
Yes.
Observing for who? For Jame.
Jame, yes.
Okay, so you are the Jame observers,
yes.
not the Jame representatives.
Yes, we went to observe.
Okay. Good. So, and then you have the Junglers.
Yes.
And the Junglers were also part of the State Guard.
Yes.
And State Guards are based in State House.
Yes, but they were not based at State House.
State Guards are mostly based in State House.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have this Jungler team.
Yes.
Okay. And that comprised of who? Tumbul Tamba, you said? Who else? Mustafa Sane.
Baji.
Nuha Baji. Rambo. What's Rambo's first name?
Jaju.
Huh?
Jaju.
Speak up, speak up.
Jaju.
Okay.
Jaju.
Okay. Is it Modlamin Jaju or Modu Jaju?
Yeah.
Rambo, alias Rambo.
Alias.
And who else? Michael Sankoria?
Sankoria.
And who else?
I think that was it.
Manlafikor? The first few sessions was Manlafikor there.
Manlafi?
Yes.
Can't remember. Manlafi was not a Jongola.
Hold a second. Huh? And in terms of representation from the army, who was there?
I've said it. 3 of us.
So, you were the Jame observers.
Yes.
Okay? Who were the representatives of the military?
The military.
Who was the most senior military personnel in that panel?
At the time, we were the most senior. Musa Jame was the senior at the time.
How about Langtombong Tamba?
Langtombong Tamba. During that time, as I said, I didn't see Langtombong Tamba there. Maybe after. But during that time, Langtombong was not there.
The evidence we received is that throughout this process, Langtombong Tamba was there representing the army.
Yeah, it might be. My memory could serve me well. Langtombong can be there. But as I said, I didn't remember sitting with Langtombong within the same panel.
In fact, how many people would you normally have in the room?
Yeah, it is almost 15 to 20. It's a big hall.
What do you say what do you say to the suggestion that there were about 30 people?
Oh,
you had Gunja Dabo's testimony yesterday.
You mean the investigators?
All the members of the panel.
Yes. As I said, it's a big hall. That's what I'm saying.
Very intimidating atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah. That was the circumstances at the time. That's how it was.
So you accept it was menacing,
yes,
it was intimidating.
It was tough, Council. How it was.
And you all orchestrated and organized the creation of that menacing atmosphere.
Oh, the NI were responsible.
But they didn't do it alone, did they?
Yes.
You were there in your military uniforms. The junglers were there with their guns.
Yes.
Wearing black.
Yes. Then coup attempt. They will wear black. That was the time. It was a coup attempt.
I understand.
Yes.
What so we're just saying is
everybody was on standby. Yes. Everybody with
yes.
arms full.
So, and that all that mix contributed to creating that menacing atmosphere.
Come again? I'm not getting you clear. Council.
I say your presence, the presence of the police, the presence of the top bra in the military, the presence of the junglers and their weapons, wearing black, all of that put together created that fearful environment for anybody who was brought there to be interviewed.
At the time, yes. That's how the situation was.
So you agree?
Yes, that's how the situation was. Coup attempt, you'll see different types of uniforms.
Okay. What rank was Langtombong Tamba at this stage?
Colonel.
What position did he hold?
He was the deputy chief of defense staff.
And who was his boss, his immediate boss?
Ndur Cham.
And what had happened to Ndur Cham at this stage?
Ndur Cham was away.
Away for what reason?
For the coup. He ran away.
He ran away?
Yes.
So when he ran away, who was the natural successor to Ndur Cham in that position?
We have a lot of officers at the time.
Listen to the question.
Sar is there, others were there.
Listen to the question. Who was the natural successor? Who was next in line for the succession?
Hassan Sar.
No, Hassan Sar was removed as CDS.
Yes.
And Ndur Cham installed as CDS. Yes. And Langtombong was his deputy.
Yes. Then next is Langtombong.
So Langtombong was next in line to become CDS.
Yes. And
who was chosen to conduct the investigations on behalf of the army?
On behalf of the army, it will be Langtombong.
So Langtombong was there investigating his immediate superior.
Who did the coup?
Who is alleged to have been doing it.
Yes.
And Langtombong was investigating.
Yes. He will.
All right.
Will. Japan.
Okay. But you don't see it, do you?
Who?
Langtombong was supposed to be the person to move up next.
Next, yeah,
that
in line.
If Ndur Cham was found to have been making a coup.
Exactly correct.
And Langtombong is chosen to investigate Ndur Cham in order to determine whether Ndur Cham was doing a coup.
Yes.
And you don't see anything wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong. If you get instructions, you will go and investigate anybody.
Perfect.
Yes.
And the instructions you were given by Jame was to extract confessions. That's what you said.
To extract, to go and find out.
You agreed earlier on.
Yes.
That the instructions were that you must bring back confessions.
Exactly, exactly.
So there was no option of bringing back anything to Jammeh other than a confession.
That was how it was.
Good. And the confessions were to be extracted through torture and questioning.
Actually, yes.
Through questioning and torture.
Yeah, beating.
Yes. Okay, so now let's look at what has happened to some individuals. You have had Bunja Dabo testify yesterday.
Correct.
And he said when he was brought before the panel, he was asked questions. And when he answered, you were not satisfied with his answers. And you told him sternly that you think we are here joking. And then you got up, walked over to him, and gave him a very bad slap at the back. And then you tore his shirt.
No, that's not true. I would not do that.
Are you just ashamed to say that?
No, I'm not ashamed. I would not do that for Bunja. I trained Bunja.
There were 30 people or more in that room.
Yes.
And you trained Bunja. Mm-hmm. He should have that degree of respect to you.
Absolutely.
And you have that relationship.
Absolutely.
Why would he lie against you? And
people are saying things that are not happening, Council.
Yes. But of all the people who
it's not that whosoever says something is true. So I'm not saying the truth.
No, the question is,
I'm saying the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, I swear.
That's what Bunja also said.
Yes.
That is what Bunja also said.
Yes, that's what he said.
But here you are sitting saying that Bunja is lying.
That's what I'm telling you. If it happens, I will tell you it's true. It's not true. Yes.
You did not do that?
No. Slap him, beat him, tear his... No. He was there, a bit question, of course.
Did anybody slap him while he was being questioned there?
No, he was taken out. I do know that he was dealt with by the junglers outside.
He was taken and tortured by the junglers?
Yes.
Did you stop the junglers from doing the torture?
Stop the junglers? At that time? You will not stop the junglers of doing that.
So you allowed them to do the torture?
Yes, they must.
Lang Tombong, did he stop the junglers from doing the torture?
He will not stop the junglers, no.
So they would all allow the junglers to do the torture? And then the person would be brought back?
Yes.
And then the interview would the interrogation would continue as if nothing wrong has happened?
Yes.
And then the person would confess?
Yes, you have to.
And that confession would be written down? And an independent witness would be brought in to sign that confession as if nothing has happened?
No, it's not like that. The NIA will do the job. They will do, yes. It's not that by doing all those things. It was not like that, Council.
How was it like?
Yes, you will be questioned, and then they will prepare your statement, and that's how it was with the NIA and the police.
So the statement would be prepared after the person is beaten mercilessly?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And the statement would only be prepared after the person has confessed?
Yes, of course.
And under the laws of this country...
A coup attempt, you must say something.
You must say something.
Yes, that was how it was.
And if you don't say something...
something, you dance for the tune.
Oh, and dance.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That was the coup attempt.
And dancing to the tune...
Oh, yeah.
Dancing to the tune
Absolutely.
means being sent to the junglers.
Not to be sent, yes, for that purpose, for those people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you all sat there supervising it, making sure everything went well.
No, it was with the junglers. We were in the room. The junglers will take you out, and then
But
we were inside the panel room.
Yeah, but that was.
But what was happening is Tamba who was taking care of that. Tumbul
yes,
Tamba.
But that
is the junglers.
But that was the system.
That was how it was happening, Council.
We agree.
Yes.
That is how it was happening.
Yes.
But what was happening then was a system.
Yes.
And the system comprised of different components, each specializing in doing one thing or another.
Yes.
The junglers, the torturing, you doing the Jame observations, and the Langtombong and Co. and the NIA asking the questions?
As I said, I didn't see Langtombong there.
Okay.
Yes.
You did not see him?
Don't quote me. Yes.
Yes.
He never met me there. Maybe after or so.
Okay.
Yes.
The senior officers would be there asking the questions?
Exactly.
All right? The junglers would be doing the torturing?
Exactly.
And the police and the NIA would be writing the statements?
Absolutely. Correct.
But you know that under the laws of this country, you cannot go to court with a confession that is not signed by an independent witness.
Well, that was how things were unfolding, Council. That was how it was.
Okay.
Yes.
The question is, under the laws of this country,
yes,
at the time,
yes,
a confession was only admissible in court if the confession was signed or made in the presence of an independent witness.
Okay.
So the police would always bring an independent witness to sign these confessions.
Okay.
And these confessions were obtained by torture.
Okay.
No? Yes or no?
No,
The confessions were obtained through torture.
Yes, through torture. Of course, they will beat you to find out whether you are part of the coup or not.
Okay. And
yes.
then when you accept to have been part of the coup,
yes,
they would write a statement.
A statement.
And then they would bring an independent witness,
yes,
to come and say that you made this statement.
Yeah, correct.
But it would not say that it was as a result of torture.
No, at that time, no.
So the statements were all false. All those statements that were signed by these independent witnesses were all fraudulently obtained.
You can say, yeah, it will.
They were all false.
We didn't know at that time.
We have a newspaper article here from the Foroya. It's issue number 24 of 2007, dated February 28 to March 1st, 2007. And it deals with some of the statements made by some of the people that you interrogated.
Is that, come again? Can you repeat that?
By some of the people that you interrogated.
Where?
At Mile 2. And this is interesting. Perhaps we should read out from this document a bit of what is stated to have happened.
This was when?
This same Durcham issue is 2007.
Thank you.
The publication.
Okay.
It says, Second Lieutenant Faring Sanyang of the Gambia Armed Forces. This is a direct reporting of what happened during the court-martial.
By whom?
It was reported by Foroya.
Okay.
We would produce the original because it's an extract from the web. Okay. In fact, your picture is in the news article.
My pictures will be all over. That was me, very close to Jame, so you will see me all over. That's how I am. If you click anywhere in the YouTube also, you see me with Jame. Yes, you said it. I'm so close to him, so you'll see my photos.
On this occasion, it is not about your closeness to Jame. It is about you carrying out the torture for Jame.
Can you come in? Who?
I'm saying this article is not about you being close to Jame. It's about you being a torturer for Jame.
Yes, that is
That is what it said. But let me read out excerpts of this for you to hear. And it says, Faring Sanyang of the Gambia Armed Forces, who is standing trial for his alleged involvement in the March 21st, 2000 abortive coup plot against the government of the Gambia, has informed the court that he was subjected to serious torture before his statement was obtained. Continuing his testimony, Second Lieutenant Sanyang indicated that while he was in the vehicle with Lance Corporal Malik Jatta, Corporal Ismaila Jame, and Private Aliu Jeng, he was maltreated by Malik Jatta. Malik Jatta told me, "Yesterday was your day, but today is my day." I asked him, "How can you talk to me like that?" He told me he would show me what he was going to do next. He tore off my uniform and started putting off his cigarette on my shoulder. The cigarette burned my skin, and I still have the scars. Sanyang lamented. He said that Corporal Ismaila Jame intervened and told Malik Jatta, "How can you talk to him like this?" Malik responded by saying, "This is an order that I received." Corporal Jame told him that all orders are received, but not all orders are executed. He stressed. Sanyang said that on the way to the NIA headquarters, Malik Jatta started hitting him with his pistol on his head. He said he sustained about 4 injuries and blood was oozing from the wounds into his eyes and dripping down onto his uniform. He said that at the NIA, while he was asked to disembark from the vehicle, Malik Jatta attempted to clear off his legs from the ground, and that he was quick to jump and avoid his kick. He noted that when Malik missed him on his attempt, he fell on the ground. He said that Malik became very angry and pulled a small-sized hammer from under the seat of the vehicle. He hit me at my left jaw, and a tooth was broken. As I spat on the ground, broken pieces of my tooth fell out on the ground, he emphasized. Sanyang pointed out that he was later taken to the back of the main building and was instructed to kneel down, but he said he refused, saying, "My subordinates cannot order me to kneel down on the ground." He indicated that Malik Jatta told him that orders are no more his, but that it was him, Jatta, who was in charge. Then he attempted to slap me, but I blocked him with my hands, and he repeated the attempts 3 times, all of which I blocked, said Faring. Lieutenant Sanyang narrated that Malik Jatta then pulled out a knife and attempted to stab him on his face, but he blocked that also. He said that the struggle between him and Jatta continued until the handcuffs on him became very tight and his muscles became weak. I could not block his attempts with strength, and I sustained severe injuries from stabbing at my left and right hand. I was bleeding from the hand, and blood was coming from my head, and my mouth started to swell. I was in severe pain. Sanyang stressed. He said that Malik Jatta continued striking him with the bayonet until he lost balance and fell on the ground. While I was struggling to get up, Malik Jatta gave me a blow at the back of my head, and I fell down. At that point, Corporal Ismaila Jame and Private Aliu Jeng came and picked me up, and there they took me before the panel, said Sanyang. Lieutenant Sanyang said he was semi-conscious at the time he reached the panel. He said Modu Haidara of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, was asking him questions, but that he could not understand the questions. He said that Haidara then ordered him to be taken to Mile 2 prisons until he was conscious enough to answer their questions. He said that at that point, Colonel Langtombong Tamba arrived, and when he saw him in that terrible condition, Tamba asked him, "Who did this to you?" I told him it was the soldiers who were treating me like this. Tamba said, "How can the boys do this when we are on the investigations?" Sanyang said. Faring said that Captain ALAGIE Martin came later and Colonel Tamba ordered him to go back to State House and bring the soldiers to escort him to Mile 2 prisons. He said he was later escorted to Mile 2 prison by Captain Martin, WO2 Armando Jata, Sergeant Pa Omar Ja, and Lance Corporal Bakari Sonko. Going further, Second Lieutenant Faring Sanyang said that he was again taken before the panel for investigations on the alleged coup plot at the NIA headquarters. He said Captain Musa Jame, then Lieutenant, alias Malia Mungu, came in and said, "Hey, Commando, what are you doing here?" I asked him, "Are you not the one who arrested me? And now you are asking me what I am doing here." Then he told me, "Finally you are in my trap," said Sanyang. Lieutenant Sanyang indicated that Haidara asked him about the coup plot. He insisted that he did not know anything about it until Captain Famara Jame informed him, and they also informed their commander, Major Njai. He said that Haidara insisted that he, Sanyang, knew something about the coup and that he was part of it. He said that Haidara told him that they were already told by others about his involvement. I asked him, "How can I be part of the coup that is plotted against the government?" And I went to receive the president at the airport, and I was responsible for the airport security, and I was fully armed and equipped. If I was part of it, I would have carried it out because I have the troops at my disposal at the airport, Sanyang stressed. Let me stop here for now. Does that describe the kind of situation that was unfolding at the NIA and the panels?
Might be true. Yeah.
And the role that was described of you, would that also be correct?
Which role?
That when Sanyang was brought back in, Lam Tombong came in and asked who did that to him, who beat him to the point of almost unconsciousness. And you walked in, and Sanyang Tambong ordered you that go to State House and bring these guys to take this man back to NIA.
Oh, that's not true.
You deny that.
Very well. That's not true. Yes.
Faring 2 is lying.
Yes.
Okay. So of all the things he said, this is the only point you suggesting he's lying.
He's lying.
How about you being there with Lang Tombong?
Where?
At the NIA premises?
No. I was not there with Lang Tombong.
So that too he's lying.
He's lying.
All right. So let us proceed. Towards the end, he said, just let me proceed from here. I insisted, and he, Haidara, brought a bunch of papers and told me that those papers contained the information about the people who were arrested before me. He said that WO2 Fali Jaban said, hey, look, you are not here for a joke. You must accept that you are part of it, he said. He said that there was a push and pull between him and Jabang, and Haidara gave him a blank paper, and that he wrote a statement. But the panel was not satisfied with the content of it. Then Musa Jame, who was standing behind me, said, "This man is hard-hearted. If he is not forced, he will not write a statement to accept that he is part of it," he explained. He indicated that Captain Musa Jame told him that if he did not write a statement to say that he knew something about it and was part of the coup, they were going to deal with him. He said he was later taken to another room and was ordered to write another statement, but that he insisted that they should bring the other statement for him to copy from that. He said that Lamin Cham insisted that he should write a separate statement. He noted that Cham then went to the panelists and informed them that he, Sanyang, was not cooperating to write a new one. He indicated that Lamin Cham and Musa Jame came and told him that if he failed to write that time, they would show him how to write it. He said that he also insisted that his first statement should be brought, or he would not write a new one. Musa Jame brought 2 electric wires, black and red, and told me that if I do not write a statement to indicate that I was part of the coup, they would fix me on the electric wires, he said. Sanyang pointed out that he thought that Musa was just threatening him, and that he further insisted on not writing. Musa then placed the wires on my right hand and plastered them, and asked, "Are you going to write or not?" And I still insisted. He then put the wires on the electric socket and put it on, and I started screaming. It was too painful because the current was burning my hand. Are these things that would happen?
No, I don't know. I'm just hearing it. Just hearing it.
But would these type of tortures happen at the NIA?
No, I didn't see this type of tortures there the time we were there.
And Faring went on to say, while I was screaming, Captain Martin came in and switched off the current. Martin told me to accept to write a statement just to save my life. I told Martin, what I wrote is what I know. And if I wrote something else, that means I would be lying. Then Musa switched on the current again, and I started to scream again. Just to save my life, I agreed to write, and I wrote lies based on the statements of the arrested people before me. I wrote the statement under forceful order and terrible condition, and I was feeling terrible pain, Faring said. That you also deny?
This is testimony. Big lie. Big lie.
So it is only a big lie when your name is mentioned?
Yes. My name will be mentioned. It was mentioned, but I'm not that type, Council. I am somebody
what type are you?
Yeah.
What type are you?
Yeah.
You are the type that would sit there and get your men to beat up on somebody who is on
not basically get the men to beat at the time. It was how the situation was at the time.
Yes, we're just trying to dissect which type you are.
Yes.
You said you are not that type.
Absolutely.
Who would do electric shocking.
Oh, of course. And I've never seen that even.
But you are the type who would sit there and get your men to beat somebody who is in handcuffs.
Yes, that
and
happened.
You are the type who would sit there and direct your men to put plastic bags over somebody who is in handcuffs.
Yeah, yeah.
And beat that person.
Yeah.
And extract confessions from them.
Yeah.
How different are you from the guy who would shock?
Well, as I said, Faring is just lying. That I can tell you.
How different are you from Musa Jame, who would put his detainees on electric shock? How different are you? Both of you are torturers, aren't you?
No, I'm not a torturer.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't torture.
Time is up, Mr. Chair, for the lunch break. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emma Council. We will take a 1 hour break and come back at 2:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.